Now, the time has come where this elephant has to be addressed, or it is going to create even more havoc on the Pandava army. So then there is a arrow called Naracha, and Arjuna uses Naracha's Banam in order to kill Supratikam, and he also uses another half moon shaped arrow to kill Bhagadatta. So both Bhagadatta and Supratika are dead, and two of the brothers of Shakuni are also killed by Arjuna. And but when Sekuni comes in front of Arjuna, Arjuna says, "Oh, what are you doing in the battlefield? You belong to the courts where cheating is done. So you are good at dice, not good at arrows. So here you cannot find any dice. So probably you do not have any job left here. So you better go to the place where dice are available." And he insults Shakuni, and Shakuni leaves. Shakuni cannot take that humiliation, and he leaves the battlefield. And Karna and Arjuna come face to face today, and Karna uses Agneyastra. As I said, Arjuna uses Varunastra, and Arjuna kills three of the brothers of Karna. Three brothers are the kids of Radha and Atiradha, right? So he kills three of their brothers. And Bhima kills almost 10,000 of their relatives of Karna. 10,000 relatives of Karna are just killed by Bhima alone. Bhima alone kills. So, very interestingly, when I was reading, Vyasa Bharata, Vyasa says that usually someone is powerful when they are in their chariot and when they have their weapons available at their hand. But Bhima is only one such warrior. He is powerful when he is on chariot, but he is lethal when he is on the ground. He is lethal when there are no weapons available to him. It is even more dangerous to face Bhima in such a kind of a situation. So it's better Bhima stays in the chariot and uses his weapons to attack people. So that is what Vyasa says about Bhima. That is the strength of Bhimasena, right? He is physically very, very strong. And then Karna is attacked by Bhimasena, Satyaki, Drishtadyumna. His horses are hurt. Karna is also hurt very badly. They attack him with so many arrows and so many weapons. He gets hurt. And at that point of time, Duryodhana and Dronacharya come to rescue Karna. With that particular day one of Dronacharya's leading the army has come to conclusion. Sun sets, and after going back to the dens or tents, what people talk about on that day is the highlights of that day are the war between Samshaptakas and Arjuna. How Arjuna has faced those thousands and thousands of foot soldiers, army men, people who took oath that they're never going to show their back to Arjuna. And the second thing they spoke about is Dronacharya not being able to catch Dharmaraja. So Pandavas have become successful on the day one in protecting Dharmaraja, right? So they spoke about that. And the third thing that everybody spoke about is the bond between Arjuna and Krishna. That's right. The bond between Arjuna and Krishna. And on the Kaurava side also, everybody started talking that if Arjuna and Krishna are so much for each other, if they are standing up for each other's success, how can our Duryodhana even think of seeing success? There is a remotest chance of Duryodhana winning when they have Krishna standing tall and protecting all of the Pandavas. And they really, really appreciate. People are in tears because of the emotion, not because of sadness. They're in emotional tears that day, looking at Krishna and Arjuna. Yes.
You know how Kaurava started with more soldiers? Like
Kaurava started with more soldiers, correct?
they had a bigger army in the start.
I think even now they have a bigger army.
Is it still like that, or like?
Yes, it is still like that. They still, I have a feeling that they still outnumber Pandavas, because for the first 10 days when Bhishma was around, the success was on the side of Kauravas, right? So I think